Hello everyone and welcome to Cinderful Gaming. I hope you're all doing well, I hope you're all staying safe, and most of all, I hope you're all fighting that war against the grey. Today's video, we're going to talk about a project that I've got an idea for. I'm really excited to try this because I found some cool models online, I found some alternative sculpts, and I think I want to do a Kislev army. Warhammer Total War has come out and I've been really excited with it. I'm not much of a video game player and I don't want to play Total War, but all the things I'm seeing in the game are what I want to see on the tabletop, and Kislev is certainly one of them. So I managed to track down a little PDF of the Kislev book. In fact, I've got the Kislev book, an actual one, on the way, and I'm going to make a Warhammer Fantasy 8th edition army of Kislev, I reckon, because I managed to track down some of the cool minis of the army. So today we're going to take a look at the Kislev's 6th edition book that came out. It's sort of like a allied one, but I think I can make a full army of it. Don't care if it's good or not, we're going to make this work. So let's take a look. So Kislev Allied Contingents goes through talking about like all the Kislev history and all that sort of stuff. Kislev lies to the northeast of the empire, for those who don't know. And it's the most northerly civilized nation, bordered by the Empire to the south and west, the Sea of Claws to the west, and Troll Country to the north, and the World's Edge Mountains to the northeast and east. The northern border of the country is ill-defined, but many draw it at the River Lynx, which flows westward from the World's Edge Mountains to the Sea of Claws. Whilst its border with the Empire has been established on the River Urskoy, named after the god Ursun, a tributary of the Talabek. The north of Kislev is barely distinguishable from the Troll Country and the tundra beyond, more wooded to the sea and east of the foothills of the mountains. Some Kislev tribes travel further north to links into the Troll Country and eastwards along the High Path. This is pretty cool. Like, it's got some nice little narrative in here, which is nice. Some really cool full color artwork. Model shows. I mean, look at those old paint jobs. That's such a paint job of the time. Really cool stuff. But talk goes around like important events of the Kislev's sort of thing. But a ton of history. You can find this. Just search up Kislev 6th edition PDF. You'll find this one that I'm looking on from here. And just some more of the amazing like Winged Lancer and Corsair models and stuff like that. It goes into like the gods and stuff like that, temperament, and so we go into rules, which is where I'm really interested. So Kislev Boya, this is like the mid-ranking officers. They're stubborn and they give it to the units that they're in, which is pretty cool. Corsairs are our sort of main unit for the Kislevs of ranks that your Boyas will probably go into. Steady the ranks. Corsairs have fought for centuries in a distinctive combination of axe and bow. Their entire purpose is to wear the enemy down and then receive the charge with the heavy axes. They are trained to swiftly change weapons without undue haste. Corsairs may stand and shoot as a charge reaction even if the enemy are within half the normal charge distance. In addition, if the enemy are outside half the normal charge distance, Corsairs do not suffer the normal -1 penalty to their hit rolls. So, some cool little bonuses. Now, some of these rules will be terribly outdated for 8th edition. We'll have to work out some of that and how that all sort of works. But, stubborn Corsairs, stubborn bow and axe wielding unit, pretty cool. Winged Lancers are another one of the battle line units where they've got the glorious charge. Winged Lancers, if they're fighting something with unit strength of 5, of course unit strength doesn't exist in 8th edition. But this is pretty cool, and so any unit charged by Winged Lancers with unit strength of 5 or more, so 1 rank, must take a panic test, which is cool. And then we've got the same for the Griffin Legion. They've got that, the Glorious Charge, the Mercenaries, and they're generally just a little bit better of our normal sort of Winged Lancers. You get 0 to 1 of them in the army. And so we'd go to Ungor Horse Archers, fast cavalry, nice, some solid, good rules there. Now, using an allies contingent, this tells you, how you sort of ally them in and make them, but you can use them as a full army, and that's exactly what I intend to do. We're going to have a full Kislev army, and this would be great. Like, get this on the channel. I mean, if you want to see a Kislev army on the channel, let us know down in the comments below, because I'm really keen to get this on the works and get this up on the channel. It would be a really cool army to have in our Warhammer Fantasy stuff, which is coming very soon to the channel. Once I've got the Conquest stuff, it'll be getting 40k and Fantasy onto the channel, will be the main sort of points. Now, so we then start looking at models, because we're going to ignore a lot of this allies contingent stuff because we're just going to apply by the normal rules. So we've got a Kislev Boya. This is our base sort of hero, 90 points. Weapon skill 5 is nice for a human hero. Ballistic skill 5 as well is really nice. And then strength and toughness 4 is solid. 2 wounds, initiative 5, 3 attacks, leadership 8. He is pretty solid for a human hero, in all honesty. For 25 points, you can give him a battle standard, and then you've got an extra. You can spend 50 points on a magical standard. And he's got the option of lance if mounted, great weapon, additional hand weapon, bow, pistol, handgun, light armor, heavy armor, carry a shield, warhorse with barding, and he can take 50 points. And of course, he's got the stubborn, which he actually passes on to the units he joins. So, pretty solid, like, little hero, in all honesty. Definitely think I'm going to make a couple of boys for my force. And then we go into core units. So we've got Wing Lancers at 24 points. That's pretty okay. It's a little bit on the steep side, but strength and toughness 3, but you know, they've got Lancers, so there will be strength 5 on the charge. Weapon skill 4 is solid. They're nothing awfully good to write home about, but they're decent enough. And of course, like, if I'm playing Kislevs, we're going to go with Winged Lancers. This is going to be like a major part of the force. But then Ungor Horse Archers with their fast cavalry rules, you know, Bliss skill 4 is solid for any human sort of shooting unit, so nice. Kislev Boyers, much more sort of thing. And they've got great axes, so they've got great weapons. 9 points for a great weapon, bow and hand weapon is pretty solid. You know, so they're going to be strength 5 for like your base core unit on a 9-point model is nice. Like, that's pretty solid. Griffin Legion being the special unit, so they can have a Lancer champion that can have a pistol as well, which is pretty cool. And then they can have a magic standard of up to 50. Now, they're a little bit better. 26 points will get you on top of... So, Winged Lancer, they'll get strength 4, and initiative 4 is going to be their big one, which is pretty solid. Like, so all of a sudden that's going to be strength 6 with the lance, which is really, really nice. And then we look at the 2 characters. So these are going to be the only Lord options. So we're pretty much going to have to try and include... I haven't managed to track down a model for her yet. If you know a great alternative sculpt that could really work for Zarina Katerin, I would love to hear it down in the comments below. But she's 495 points, so she's expensive. She's a level 4 wizard straight off the bat. You can only use Ice Magic, and we'll look at that in a little bit. But the people of Kislev are utterly devoted to Zarnia. Any Kislevite unit joined by her becomes stubborn, and all Kislevite units within 12 inch may reroll failed psychology tests. And if she's the leader of your ally contingent, or indeed will probably make it army, Griffin Legion restrictions are removed, which is pretty cool. Fear Frost gives her killing blow in combat. You know, she's only got 1 attack though, so it is what it is. And then the Crystal Cloak, she has a 4+ ward save. In addition, all her attacks directed to her suffer -1 to hit and wound. So she's pretty solid, in all honesty. She's expensive, but she's decent. Looking at Boris, he is the last piece for the army. And so, looking at his cool rules for Boris, weapon skill 5 is nice, strength 5, toughness 4, he's actually going to be toughness 5, and then strength 6 on his big bear. 3 wounds, 4 attacks each, so 8 attacks coming out of him. He is fairly solid. Now, Kin of the Bear God, so you can give a unit of Kossars present in your army at a cost of 30 points per unit. Models may get +1 attack on the turn they charge. This can really turn on one of the Kossar units. He's only 400, just under 400 points. So, you know, you could definitely include him and Katerin in the same army, I think. Now, Armor of Urson is his big thing. He counts as in full plate, so he's got a 4-up save. And may make an additional attack back after his enemy's attacks have been resolved for each hit caused by his enemies. And he can make this bonus attack even if he's already attacked in that phase. So this is pretty cool. Like, if he just saves a bunch of stuff, he generally like punches back pretty hard. He's got the Shard Blade, +2 to his strength, so he's strength 7. In addition, if someone suffers a wound, they make a toughness test or take another wound in addition. Winter Coat, Erskine is swathed in muscle. As a result, counts as having a 5+ armor save. So he's in full plate and then has a 5+ base, which is pretty nice on the bear. You know, and then he's got causes fear. Obviously, he's on a giant bear, and then he must always pursue when an enemy unit flees. But looking at some of these old cool models, I managed to track down some of these, but we're going to have to use some counts as. And then we look into the spell lore, which is the last sort of thing. So we've got some cool paint schemes and stuff like that. Building trees and winter wonderlands and all some cool stuff in this. There's some really nice bits and pieces. For me, it's all about spell lore, which we've got down at the end of this little book. The Law of Ice. So we've got Shardstorm, which is 2d6 strength 3 hits, Magic Missile, Freezing Blast, all models in the train feature that the spell is cast on. Take a strength 2 hit with no armor saves allowed. Alternatively, the spell can be cast on a single unengaged enemy unit within a line of sight. The target unit moves as if it was in difficult terrain. We've then got Form of the Frost Fiend, remains in play spell. The caster may fly whilst they have the spell in play. In addition, the caster has strength 5 and 4 attacks. Effects of all equipment, including magic item steeds, are ignored for the duration. Invocation of the Ice Storm on a 9+. The caster nominates a point on the battlefield, roll an artillery dice, and double the result. This is the distance inches that the storm affects. If a misfire is rolled, it affects the entire battlefield. All units caught in the ice storm must pass a leadership test with -2 if they wish to shoot. If this is failed, they're unable to fire, and the freezing effects of the ice storm lasts for 1 full turn and cannot be dispelled in the opponent's next magic phase. And then Midwinter's Kiss, those caught in the blast, so place a flame template with a point touching the caster. Any model fully under the template is automatically affected. Partially under the template is affected on a 4+. Each model affected suffers a strength 5 hit with no armor save. The spell cannot be cast against the unit in close combat. And then Glacial Barrier. Spell can be cast on a point in a line of sight. Place a 5-inch by 1-inch strip of paper on the battlefield, all of which must be completely within 24 inches of the caster to represent the Glacial Barrier. This treated impossible playing and blocks line of sight. So some pretty cool stuff there for the spell lore as well. I mean, this is cool. I'm really keen to get a Kislev army on the go. Like I said, if you'd love to see some Kislevs on the channel in Warhammer Fantasy, let us know in the comments below. Well, that's it for the video. We hope you enjoyed watching. If you did, please don't forget to leave a like and subscribe to the channel. If you'd like to come chat more with me and other members of our little fine community here at Sinful Gaming, you can do so by following the link in the video's description to our Discord server. Lastly, if you'd like to help support the channel more, you can do so by following the links to either our Patreon or YouTube members down in the description of the video. It goes a massive way to helping the channel continue to produce the content that it does. We'd like to give a special shout out to all our patrons and YouTube members, so a special thank you to our Patreons: Christian Weir, James Soren, Greenskins Gaming, AJC, Kenny Lowell, Outer and Shop First, Andrew Bowen, Nathan Fee, The Rising Ape, Cure Dynamic, Agu, Anthony B, Anton Nilsson, JJ Austrian, Average Wargamer, Domir, Mark Harvey, James Cater, and Samuel. And a shout out to our YouTube members: Green Roots Gaming, Kenton Young, Chris Ross, Ronya, Vinny, Lochloric, The Johnny84, David Ellsworth, Revenar, Wolfric Nick, Broken Chef, Sean Scott, and Ariana Edwards. Finally, a last special shout out to Lady Witchfox Art, who does all the amazing artwork for the channel that you see pictured here, and to Xmorphic, who does all the amazing background work on our Discord server for us. Thank you both, you do amazing work. That's it though. Please don't forget to leave a like and subscribe. Once again, stay safe, stay well, and most of all, keep fighting that war against the grey. Ciao for now.